Okay, hey YouTube, just gonna do a quick video on the Anol Aurora 2, which is a new tablet released by Anol, and it's really a very good buy at the minute. To sum up, I mean, you can get this for maybe around between 60 to 80 pounds online if you search hard enough. And I mean, literally, it does compete with some of the higher end tablets in terms of performance. You know, one's costing £200 plus. I mean, in terms of performance, when compared with my phone, which is an Xperia Arc, you know, it blows it away. It can play Temple Run, which I'll show you, sort of at quite a high resolution, at a very smooth rate as well. Which, so I mean, in terms of gaming, it's pretty decent because, you know, it's dual-core processor. It's a really nice screen, which I mean is actually on its lowest brightness at the minute. So as you can see, it looks nice. It still does have a few issues, and I'll come on to that in a bit. And the first one being that because it supports the Mali 400 GPU, it does have some compatibility issues with apps. So there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's kind of some apps on the market which won't work just because the GPU is not very well known, I guess, so they don't support it. This, I guess you shouldn't notice that for too many, most of the games will be on there, but just the odd ones that you're looking for. Second issue, the camera is, you know, might as well not be there. I mean, I can't really show you the actual quality. I mean, there's no back camera, but I mean the front camera is no short of abysmal, if I'll be honest. You know, I mean, it's maybe just about might do for a Skype call, but even then you're kind of pushing it. So I mean, that might as well not be there. And the third thing is that sometimes when you're scrolling on lists and web pages, it'll detect clicks that when you're not actually clicking. So you hold your finger just to, you know, you put your finger on the screen to scroll, and then it'll detect it as a click where you've actually put your finger down. So just a little bit of inaccuracy, and that really annoyed me while I was browsing the Play Store. And moving on to the good points, it does have a Play Store, which is kind of surprising for something of this price, and the fact that it's from China. And I mean, it works really well. I mean, it's pretty smooth, you know. Again, it's better than it is on my as you saw there, the issue, but it's better than it is on my phone, except for that annoying thing. And it does work in portrait mode, as does everything else, but it does take just a little bit of time just to get into portrait. But once it's there, you know, it works really well. I mean, there's a lot more updates that are gonna come out on this tablet, so I mean, I'm not gonna judge it just yet. But yeah, well, they should smooth out some of the flaws and kind of fix it up a bit. But you know, it's still in its early stages, and there'll be ROMs and things which are gonna improve on it. But at the minute, I'm just gonna tell you what it is for now. There is actually an option in your settings to turn the CPU from normal mode here to performance, and that does supposedly increase your performance, well, and you know, your scrolling speed and how smoothly your games run and stuff. But it does make it a bit hot at the back. But I mean, if you can deal with that, and also it probably reduces the battery life. I've not actually tested that, but I'll make the assumption here. I don't even know what I just clicked on, but we'll find out. Oh, it's that boxing game. I haven't actually tried this out, so it'll be a good test to see if the tablet supports it properly. It seems to be working well. I think I just clicked Switzerland. Yeah, I see. Makes sense. How do you block? Oh, there we go. Come on then. Yeah, it works well actually. And it's multi-touch, so I guess this guy's had it. Oh. That's quite fun actually. Whoa. Oh. This guy heard of a jab. Hey. Yeah, okay, I win, whatever. Yeah, and basically, obviously, it has all the Android 4.0 kind of features in terms of what's it called? Multitasking. Except the fact that even though it does have a gig of RAM, it does start to slow down significantly once you start doing, say, 2 or 3 things at once. For example, say you're downloading a file at the same time as listening to music and playing a game, it will stutter. But I mean, that's to be expected. It's kind of easy to forget that this is a, an £80 tablet. It's really surprising. You almost, you think you've got a £200 tablet when you're holding it. It just feels very solid. And although it is a plastic construction, it just feels like a quality machine. Yeah, and it's generally everything you do is slick and quite polished. More than the average Chinese tablet, which I have experienced. What else? Yeah, internet browsing is very good actually. For the price, it's... Oops. Well, that just failed. Let's try that again. From what I did work on it, it does work very well. The stock keyboard it comes with is actually a Chinesey kind of weird keyboard, but you can switch it to the UK layout, which is actually really nice to type on. So yeah, I'll try Apple. I find that's quite a good benchmark for devices, I guess, to see how they browse, because there's a lot of images and flash content on the page. So I mean, as you can see, it works very smoothly. You can pinch to zoom, all that. You zoom in like that. And obviously it takes a sec just for it to kind of sharpen up when you zoom in and you zoom out. That doesn't work. But I mean, generally, it all works very smoothly. I mean, we'll just open up a new tab and do a Google search of... Okay, let's do Apple again. As you can see, firstly it searches very quickly, and secondly, obviously, you can scroll very quickly. So I mean, as an actual internet browsing tablet, it's really good. I mean, I'll just turn the brightness on full right now, so you can really see how bright the screen is. That's on half. Now that's full, and I mean, it's crazy, really. On full brightness, it just looks really amazing. The colours are really punchy. And, it's quite an awesome display for photos, etc. I mean, I don't know if it's got any on here. I'll take a look. We do. We have pictures. We might have some wallpapers going. I don't know what this is. Oh, here we go. So I mean, these are probably the images they use to showcase the tablet. Oh wow, that's detailed, isn't it? Wow. That is nice, isn't it? Let's have a flick through here. And the images look so sharp. Really gorgeous. Hey, is that the Mac wallpaper? Sure looks like it. Yeah. Well, that's just... yeah, I think you get the idea, but I mean, it's really gorgeous. I mean, I don't think I have any videos to show you at the minute, but I'm sure they'd play just as well, if not better. There's Google Maps, which obviously does work on here, but again, it's maybe not quite as smooth as you might like. But it, again, you know, it's functional. You can use it almost like a sat-nav. When it loads. If it loads. Yeah, I don't like so well. Okay, let's try zooming on the UK. Whoa, what? Let's see. Okay, upside down it is. There we go. And then to make it harder for the tablet, let's yeah, go on then. You know, it's still coping better than it did on the first time. I think it's because I've just switched the performance of the CPU to sorry, I've just changed the CPU to performance mode, because it is smoother than when I first tried it. And yeah, I mean, it works really well actually. As you can see, I mean, it does everything you'd expect it to. Multi-touch works really well. So yeah, and you know, that's, you can use that to get directions and things to places wherever it is you need to go. We've got the, you know, the calculator and calendar and all the basic functions. I did try the HDMI and I was having some issues with it. It does work when you play it back in 720 or 1080p on the TV, but you don't actually get the image on the tablet. So the tablet will be a black screen and then the image will be on your TV, which is it's a bit difficult to navigate, because then you basically have to use your finger as like a cursor and sort of drag along and see where it is on the TV. And it's a little bit awkward, but again, I guess if you just want to do it just to watch some videos or view some photos, it'll do the job. And I think that could get fixed in further updates. As far as music goes, I would say the speakers are a little bit awkwardly positioned on the back, so if you are listening to music like this, they are maybe not, you know, they're a bit muffled, but as soon as you turn it over, I was blown away by the sound quality. Word speakers again. Yeah, well, oh, there. You know, it's awesome sound quality, really. I was really surprised. And I mean, I think basically I've covered what most people would want to know in terms of support, and I think I can conclude by saying that you will probably forget that you've only paid a very small amount of money for this, as you know, it's got really nice capacitive IPS screen, you know, it's got really high resolution, it's got a dual core processor, it's got the Android Market. You know, you'll think you've gone out and bought a £200 tablet at least. You will probably come across the odd issue, but I'm kind of banking on them fixing it in the updates, because that's what they have been doing so far. There was a lot of Wi-Fi issues and things like that when it first released, but now, I mean, they've all been smoothed out. So I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before it really becomes like, you know, maybe even the Nexus 7 killer. I mean, obviously it won't obviously reach the performance of that, but the price to performance ratio will almost definitely be better. In fact, it probably is now. And the Nexus 7's got a great price to performance ratio. So I mean, if you really want a tablet and you're kind of not sure what to get, you know, you can't quite dish out the money for an Nexus 7, this is definitely the way to go. And I will put a link in the description, as to where I bought it from and where you can buy it from for quite a cheap price. So yeah, thanks for watching. Rate, subscribe, comment, like, and see you next time.